Okay. Here we go. Let's see how that works. So I titled the talk tonight, this traveling from head to heart. And I didn't actually measure it, but I saw some posts that were saying, as I was finding that image of head to heart, and it said there was some reference to 18 inches. So, I guess it's probably about that, depending how long your neck is. But how long that journey, how long that distance can feel sometimes between our head and our heart, and then maybe also to our belly. This was something that Pascal was guiding at one point. He was talking about how sometimes it feels like, pardon me for paraphrasing Pascal, but that his sense of self, or the way that he is knowing the world, understanding and interacting with the world, feels like it's happening from some space behind the eyes, And I can so relate to that, maybe in my own way, but that feeling of experiencing the day and moving through the day from this headspace of thinking and worrying and planning and getting and doing and organizing and remembering and all of these mental facilities and habits, really. And then this really, really visceral felt experience of dropping the attention down into the area of what's called the heart center. In the teachings of the Buddha, in the Pali language, this area is called Chitta, heart mind, Citta, and the C is pronounced like cha, Chitta. And I just love that word, because for us in the West or in English, it's like we think of the mind as like my brain, and my heart is my emotional connection. And Chitta is the heart mind, is the aware mind, a different way of knowing that includes our whole, more of an embodied awareness and a different kind of knowing than figuring out. And so lately I've just been practicing a lot, just popping through the day, little check-in with, whatever I'm doing at a random time through the day, noticing where is the energy, where do I feel the energy in my body? And, often it kind of feels like it's just in my head. And just in the noticing of that, relaxing and dropping into the body or in the heart or the whole body, it feels so different in my body. Anyways, it does. And so even like driving here, and I can be driving kind of just my head driving, like it's like this head on a stick, or just this disconnect of, and the mind's thinking or listening to radio or thinking about what is being seen, etc. And then just checking in and noticing that, and dropping back into the whole body driving. The whole body is sensing, and the heart is feeling concern for other drivers and my safety, the safety of others. There's still, of course, the thinking capacity, and there's, we want that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it just feels completely different to connect again with my whole being. And there's kind of many times through the day where that is just dropping into, oh, what's happening right now? How am I relating? How is the present moment being known? And seeing if there's something else that's needed, something else that's not being paid attention to. This practice is often called mindfulness, and I would love it if there was a movement to call it bodyfulness. There's kind of such a glorification of the mind and thinking and understanding the world by figuring it out. And a great deal of this practice is about connecting with this bodily experience that's really showing us the present moment in a very different way. I remember one of my teachers at one point saying that there's a there's a sensation correlated with every thought that's coming and going. Oh, wow, that's so interesting to pay attention to. Wow. For some of you here that know him, that was Norman that said that, Norman Feldman. And it's very interesting to pay attention to, sometimes it's too subtle to notice, but with every thought, there's corresponding sensations happening in the body. And of course, we maybe know that even more so with emotions. With every emotional state, there's corresponding sensations happening in the body. And so it's pretty interesting that where was it? I had a note here I wanted to find. Yeah, about how when we're lost when awareness is in the mind, in just in the thoughts and stories and memories and plans, we can really be sometimes completely disconnected from the body, right? That the mind has the ability to separate us from the body. And sometimes that's a good thing. This is a coping strategy, especially in the case of trauma, etc. And, but the mind has this capacity to completely separate us from the body, whereas the body has the ability to connect us. Some would say the body doesn't lie, that the body really can show us what's going on in a different way. And that's an interesting difference. One of the other things that stood out that I think is related on this weekend retreat is the knowing that a heart awareness, the chitta, heart-mind awareness, heartful attention, heartful knowing, is really our essence. That an accepting, a receptive quality of being, of knowing the moment is our true essence, is already there. And it kind of gets covered over with all of the activities of the thinking called papancha mind, the ruminating mind, the mind that's going over things again and again and trying to figure everything out. And I think it was Pascal that said that metta or heart friendliness, heart presence is really an absence of. When we really feel a connection in that different way, it's there in that those moments. There's an absence of comparing mind, an absence of judgment, an absence of sense of separation of self and the world, self and others, an absence of planning, ruminating, absence of worry and fear. Well, yeah. And so that heartful attention can know those different states arising and passing, and can meet with them in a skillful way to see what response is needed to what's showing up. So it's not a negating or a denial of the capacity of the mind, which is of course a wonderful thing. But to see that paying attention in a different way can connect us to a different kind of knowing. Yeah. And this practice is really about cultivating a different way of knowing that there's thinking mind and there's contemplating, reasoning, planning. All of these things are important and wonderful gifts, but we want to be able to know when we're doing that, to choose when we're doing that, rather than be, how's it said, kind of it's not quite the right word, a victim of the mind, or like a puppet of the mind, but rather us using those capacities in a skillful way. And then the other way of knowing is the way of insight, which is a really different way to understand and know how things are. It's an intuitive, visceral understanding. That's a very different experience. I heard, what's her name? Really well on Tara Brock. Tara Brock. Yay, it came to me. Giving a talk, and she said that I didn't have time to search it in the suttas, but she said that this is something from the Buddhist scriptures. So I didn't get to source it, but she said it this way: "O nobly born, do not forget the luminous nature of your own heart and mind, chitta. Trust it, it is home." Isn't that lovely? So that's that sense of that being our essence, our true nature, that gets covered over with a lot of overthinking. Trust it. It's the luminous nature. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, I might add some more thoughts after, and mostly I'd like to have a discussion with you and hear your thoughts of the experience. But mostly I'd like to dive into a meditation at this point, to see if we can feel the felt experience of these different kinds of attention. So adjust your posture in whatever way you need to be comfortable. So you can, if you're feeling very sleepy, some people might choose to stand up or just do a little walking back and forth in a place where you can still hear. It's also okay to lay down if you're feeling like your body needs that support. If you're laying down, you might raise your forearm up so that it'll fall if you're falling asleep, if you're wanting to stay awake. If you just really need to rest and let the words kind of slide in subconsciously, that's okay too, your choice. But generally, we try to find a posture that is this balance of wakefulness, uprightness, and ease. So see if you need any cushions or adjustments in your posture so that you feel supported and as pain-free as is available and possible for you in this moment. And then letting your hands come to rest so that you're not distracting yourself for this time of practice. And when the hands come to rest in your lap somewhere, then inviting the eyes to rest. So you might like to, some people find it restful to have the eyes closed. But it's also okay to practice with your eyes slightly open and just looking forward to the ground in front of you, keeping your head upright. See which position of the eyes is most restful for your, restful and wakeful for you. Then we're just going to go directly into, rather than relaxing and feeling the ground as we often would start the meditation, we're just going to go directly to the area of the skull, the head. And all these words that are spilling out and swirling in and being heard and received might feel like they're kind of filling your head with thoughts and words and concepts and ideas. Just feel around the area of your head, your skull, or as Pascal says, the area behind the eyes. See whatever sensations you feel in this area of the body. There may be a sense of very fullness or heaviness or vibration or electrical movements. There might be sensations of pressure or tension around the temples or forehead or just through the head. And that might feel like a kind of familiar sensation. Just noticing whatever sensations can be felt here in the area of the head and skull. And then you might feel, the body might feel it's helpful to take a deeper breath. And we're going to take if it feels appropriate, a larger breath in through the nose and a longer kind of sighing exhale, and begin to sigh our attention down the body towards the area of the heart center, center of the chest, chitta, heart-mind awareness. You don't need to force anything, but just gradually start to pay more attention to any sensations that are felt here across the chest, the upper back, the armpits, and inside that whole band of awareness towards the center of the chest area, upper chest. You might feel sensations of movement, sensations of vibration or pulse. Sensations of the touch of clothing or pressure. And you might also feel as just a sensation of numbness or not feeling any sensation. And can you just know that also as a sensation that's being known without judging it or adding any story about it? There might be sensations of heaviness or solidity or temperature. What does it feel like to know the present moment from this place, from this heart awareness? As if the seat of your knowing, your intelligence, is in this place in your body. At some point, you might feel a sensation of the energy gathering up in the head again. Just notice if that arises and see if you can settle awareness down. Awakening attention in this part of the body. And once again, you might feel the invitation for a sighing breath. And when you're ready, we'll just let awareness soften down, melting down, sliding down towards the belly. And see if there's any holding there that might not be needed, but also if it feels like it is needed, just to allow that. And if it feels safe for you in this moment, is it helpful to allow the belly to just be soft? And feeling that across the low back and sides of the hips. You might feel that as sensation of the touch of clothing, pressure or texture. Felt experience of fullness in the belly area from the organs. Sensations of movement. Perhaps temperature or heaviness, fullness, softness. What does it feel like to experience the present moment from this place? As if this seat of knowing, of intelligence, of experiencing resides down here in the belly. If anything feels overwhelming or triggering, just open your eyes and look around your space. And then with another sighing breath as you exhale, just letting awareness suffuse the whole body. Like a drop of colored dye in water. Whole body. All the cells of the body are alive and awake, experiencing, receiving the moment. All the cells internally and externally in the skin, the sense doors, tingling, vibrating, moving, communicating, flowing, electrical. You don't have to feel everything at once about the body, but just see the ephemeral nature of all these sensations coming and going. And the whole body is knowing. And if one of these areas feels like it needs some more cultivation or attention, you could rest there again in the heart or the belly, or just stay with the whole body, knowing present moment. Whole body is intelligent, awake, alive, receiving. If you usually practice, or if you're practicing tonight with your eyes closed, the invitation here is to see if you can stay in that place of knowing that you're practicing in, heart or belly or whole body. As you just open your eyes a little bit and just let in a bit of light or shape and color. See if you can still stay connected to that embodied knowing, even as eyes open a little bit. And as you choose, you can stay with that, or you could close the eyes again and see if that's a different experience for you. Noticing if attention has moved up into the area of the skull or head. Seeing if you can soften and open awareness to one of these other areas. Alert and relaxed, inner stillness, inner awakeness. In the same way, we practiced opening the eyes and seeing if we can stay connected with embodied attention. As you hear these three sounds of the bell, see if you can just stay with listening and receiving that from the place of the body or belly or heart. And when the third sound fully ends, then you can end your practice, and as you do, see if that feels like an on-off switch or could feel like some continuity. So that as you begin to move or open your eyes, see if you can stay a little bit connected to one of these areas of knowing without clinging, of course. So just for the folks that will be watching this on YouTube later, to say that there's links below to offer support to True North Insight and to myself. So thank you for your support. And then, so I'm just going to stop the recording so we can have a chat now.